These are 13 of Meghan Markle's most awkward habits. Meghan has a habit of sticking her tongue out during public appearances. While appearing as a judge on MasterChef, instead of simply making a graceful entrance, she stuck her tongue out in a way that many viewers considered unusual. It almost seemed like she had forgotten about her lip gloss and thought constantly licking her lips was the only answer, and it did not happen just once. During a food tasting segment on MasterChef, Meghan took another bite and once again pushed out her tongue before properly tasting the food. Moments like these have left many viewers wondering how someone who was once part of the royal family could repeatedly behave this way during official public appearances. And according to critics, this is hardly an occasional thing. She is often seen sticking out her tongue before eating, which is why some people think she should have followed Sophie's example and learned from her. Then there is the constant blinking. If you have watched a Meghan interview carefully, you may notice something unusual about her eyes. Whenever a question becomes slightly uncomfortable or she appears ready to deliver a carefully prepared response, her blinking seems to speed up dramatically. Body language discussions have repeatedly pointed to rapid blinking as something that can happen during stress, discomfort, or moments when someone is carefully forming an answer instead of speaking naturally. For someone who often presents herself as extremely authentic, critics believe her body language can sometimes tell a different story. Authenticity cannot simply be performed, and according to some viewers, neither can the constant blinking when someone is trying to appear completely composed. When it comes to staring at someone so intensely that it seems like she could eat them alive, Meghan does not appear to care who the other person is. Just look at Meghan during her Australian tour with Harry. A woman simply tried to get Harry's attention and direct him toward people upstairs. Rather than treating it as an ordinary interaction, Meghan reportedly turned toward the woman and gave her a look that seemed far more serious than the situation required. But that was not the only example of what critics have called her famous death stare. On another occasion, when Meghan spotted Princess Catherine, instead of simply approaching her and offering a polite greeting, she reportedly gave her that same intense stare before walking away. Critics say this is a habit she has developed over the years and still seems unable to control. Lucy Turnbull, the wife of Australia's Prime Minister in 2018, was also reportedly on the receiving end of a similar reaction. Meghan was preparing to speak when Lucy innocently interrupted her. Rather than treating it as a simple mistake, Meghan allegedly responded with another cold look. Whether the person is young or old, critics say the reaction appears to be the same. For Meghan, it sometimes seems as though walking beside Harry comes with one very important purpose: holding his hand. She appears unable to resist constantly reaching for him. During one solemn occasion when everyone else was focused on the ceremony, Meghan appeared more interested in holding Harry's hand tightly, almost as though she needed to keep that physical connection at all times. It is a habit many critics believe she simply cannot seem to break. Then came the moment involving Tyler Perry. As he was leaving, Meghan appeared to ask for a photo before grabbing onto him and holding on for what seemed like an unusually long time. Watching moments like that, you might almost wonder whether the person's arm still had any circulation by the time she finally released it. Because Meghan often appears to grip people's hands and arms tightly as though doing so makes her feel more secure. Most people try to conceal their disappointment when something does not go their way. Meghan, however, is frequently accused of displaying exactly what she is feeling through her facial expressions. She may not openly say that she is unhappy, but critics often believe her face reveals her emotions anyway. During one engagement, Harry was speaking with people around him while Meghan stood nearby. Instead of simply maintaining a polite smile, her expression reportedly changed noticeably, making it appear that she was unhappy with what was taking place. If she can allegedly react that way while watching her own husband interact with others, critics argue there may be very few people she would not react toward in a similar manner. Meghan is often accused of becoming especially attentive when the cameras are focused on her, and many critics consider that a major red flag. During one event, a young boy desperately wanted Harry's attention, but unfortunately Harry did not notice him. Meghan did notice the child, and many people expected her to simply draw Harry's attention toward him. Instead, she was reportedly seen ignoring the boy altogether. For that child, it must have been a disappointing moment. Critics have interpreted incidents like this as evidence that Meghan may have developed a habit of giving attention, mainly to people who can help her image or raise her status. Since the young boy had nothing obvious to offer in that sense, critics believe she saw little reason to acknowledge him. Whether that interpretation is fair or not, moments like this have undoubtedly influenced the way some members of the public view her. Many critics believe this pattern has become part of Meghan's lifestyle. Some people accuse her of using relationships and connections to move higher, and then leaving those people behind once they are no longer useful. Piers Morgan, who was once considered friendly with Meghan, is frequently brought up as an example. Critics claim she once viewed him as a valuable connection before eventually moving on when their relationship no longer served her purposes.
That was the last I ever heard from Meghan Markle. And I have never heard from her again.
So what happened?
She ghosted me, Ryan. Meghan Markle ghosted me.
Did she? Do you think she just went, gone?
I'm afraid, look, I really liked her. This is why it hurts. No, I really liked her. I just think she's a slight social climber, I'm afraid.
People have described her as a bit of a social climber, and critics have claimed similar things about several of her friends from her Suits days. After she joined the royal family, many of those friendships reportedly began to disappear. Whether that was deliberate or simply how things unfolded, the pattern has become another behavior that people often associate with Meghan. Whenever someone is speaking, most people naturally expect the person listening to actually pay attention. Unfortunately, critics believe Meghan can often appear distracted during conversations. At several public events, while someone was speaking directly to her, her changing expressions and wandering eyes reportedly made it seem like her thoughts were somewhere completely different. There were also occasions when someone appeared to be talking to her, yet instead of giving that person her full attention, she reportedly turned away and started speaking with somebody else. For anyone trying to have a genuine conversation, that kind of reaction could understandably feel quite discouraging. Meghan often seems determined to get there first. After her official visit to Morocco, many observers felt she was making an effort to avoid repeating earlier awkward moments. During one greeting line, Meghan stepped in front of Harry to greet King Mohammed VI before her husband had the chance to do so himself. That moment seemed to establish the tone for the rest of the visit, with Meghan frequently walking ahead while Harry followed behind. Watching the footage, some people even joked that Harry looked less like her husband and more like her personal assistant. Whenever Meghan notices a camera, critics believe her entire mood can change almost instantly. During one event, she reportedly appeared serious and reserved until she realized a camera was aimed in her direction. Within moments, her expression reportedly transformed into a huge smile, showing all her teeth as if nothing had happened just seconds earlier. People have also pointed to her visit to Uvalde following the tragic school shooting. They argue that although paying respects is completely understandable, visits like these are generally expected to remain private. Meghan, however, reportedly arrived with photographers, causing many people to question whether the visit was truly personal or intended to be public. Fair or unfair, moments like this have only reinforced the belief among critics that Meghan seems most comfortable when a camera is nearby.
Rowan, she turned up, the Princess of Woke, to Uvalde, Texas, to visit the struggling community there after the shooting. Who does she think she is?
Well, she thinks she's Princess Diana. She's always thought she's Princess Diana. She sees herself in some kind of cross between Michelle Obama and Diana Spencer, bringing relief and comfort to any situation.
Meghan often seems determined to have the spotlight on her. Critics believe she does not really care who is receiving attention before her, as long as the focus eventually turns in her direction. During their widely discussed trip to Nigeria, Meghan reportedly positioned herself directly in front of Harry, leaving him partly hidden from view. Even some of the people nearby appeared surprised by what happened. Harry gently seemed to encourage her to move, but she stayed exactly where she was. To many observers, it looked like Meghan wanted to remain the main attraction, while Harry came across more like a supporting character than an equal partner. Another behavior critics frequently mention is Meghan's habit of joining conversations that she may not even be able to hear. During one event, Harry was talking with another guest while Meghan leaned forward with a big smile, appearing as though she was completely involved in the discussion. She reportedly laughed at moments when nobody had spoken directly to her, and even shifted her position in a way that allowed cameras to capture her looking interested and engaged. Similar moments have reportedly been noticed during the Invictus Games, where she leaned forward, kept smiling, and nodded along to conversations happening several feet away in loud surroundings. By that point, some viewers jokingly concluded that what Meghan needed most was not another public appearance but a doctor. And there you have it, 13 of Meghan Markle's cringiest habits. Which one did you find the most awkward? Tell us in the comments and do not forget to like, share, and subscribe. I will see you in the next one.